Or right where the last video left off. Right now, I've got a 5K spring in here, and I'm showing you the quick way of making a super Retaliator. However, not to a gunsmith, it isn't. So I showed off a little bit of the Ultra, and I showed off that. Now, I got the same speed you can expect everything. And doing it that way, you'll get the same statistics, but it won't be as accurate, and it might wear off quicker, and some of those goes. Okay, so the first thing I do are this one, like I just did, and then I do the slide ones. I put in mind you got an orange thing, it comes out. If it's a prototype of my guns, I leave it off. It tells me that, don't let anyone touch this gun. See, in this one it's off. The Ultra, it's off. It's a prototype. The Super Veloce, for example, it's on. It's a finished product. I don't want to make it a prototype. I want people to try it out and use it, whoever's brave. But I dare say it, anything past 5 kilograms is childproof. I even call 5 kilograms spring childproof. Because they can't cock it. They can't load the damn dart and fire it. I'm not kidding. So if Hasbro ever asks me, well, what if kids have these guns? They can't shoot them anyway. Who cares? Only us adults can. That's right. So, make sure you get every single one. Remember that this one's the anchor, the one on the front here. Okay, that's the anchor. That one's got a much longer screw there. And you needs to be long. Don't substitute it for a shorter screw. It's usually my last screw I take off the gun. Okay, so here we are. I am losing all the screws. I'm able to do it with the same screwdriver. I like the Recons and the Retaliators. They're your simple, clip-fed, general-purpose gun. And more so than that, they're fair. What do I mean by that? There's not all these stupid, these stupid things that break, things that are trendy, that are just, a fad, I felt that Vortex is a bit of a fad. As a matter of fact, I only bought one Vortex gun until the actual, Paragon came out. Then I went out and I bought like 2 of them. Okay, so here we are. There's our 5K spring, right there. Okay, so mods I do in here. First off, you're going to have to remove that. There's your trigger catch. I'm going to use this as a spare part one day, because people break these all the time trying to put stack springs in here. Okay, here is your plunger, okay, right in here. And here is your bolt sled. The Ultra, for example, has an aluminum one. On the Retaliator, I will warn you right now, this is the weak link. Bolt sled. I've never seen a Retaliator or any other gun other than a long strike where the bolt sled was the weak link. Don't put a pusher right on here. Don't do it. Don't take the plunger and put a spring right here, because its angle will be whatever. That will jack it like that. That will put tension on this and it will snap. I've done it twice. Okay. So one of my first requirements of making the Ultra is I had to have the aluminum bolt sled that came with the Recon Stage 2 kit, and the Orange Modworks, John from Orange Modworks got it for me for $8, and he even gave me the silicone grease. Beautiful, beautiful. I mean, I've had nothing but fortune with Orange Modworks. Okay, so we've got your locks. Don't lose this one. If you want to lose the trigger lock, saw this off. Just saw it off, and leave this here, because what this does when it's backed up is it actually pushes against here and makes it so the barrel does less of that, up and down, left to right. But as you can see, it has a little bit of play up there. The aluminum one doesn't. That's the other reason I like the aluminum. But it gives it more of a positive lock. But this one, you want to lose it? Go right ahead. I'm not losing it. Why? Because it's a customer gun. Oh, let's just say my father's gun, and I want it to be closest to spec as possible, functional wise. If you pop it out like that, take a jewel screwdriver. This one's a regular flathead jewel screwdriver. Push it in there. Put that in. Put that in. It's one more thing to get in your way in battle, sure, but it's also one more thing holding this up. However, this ratchet has got to go. So this is a part where you actually do need a different size to do it. Now, I said you can do it with one size. Yes, a lot of people leave this, a lot of people don't. I choose not to. It will lock up your gun out of nowhere. Now me, I go to battle with like 20 guns. If it locks up, it's no big deal. But what if I like this gun? What if I'm having a good day? Or what if I only have one Super Retaliator? What if your name's on the line and you don't want it to lock up? Bye-bye. It's gone. You have no choice on the aluminum bolt sled because the aluminum bolt sled has the original Recon little straight one rather than the wide one that comes on the, excuse me, the wide ones that come on the Retaliators and the last generation of Recons. Also, how you know if you have a new Recon or an old one is if you open it up and it has the wide bolt sled on it. Actually, there's three. There's the one that has a solid plunger that says armed on it. There's the one that has the thin one of these, and there's one with the wide one of these. There's three generations of Recons that were made. Okay, and okay, so here's what you got to do here. I'm keeping the air restrictor intact. As a matter of fact, I want to check that spring, make sure it's centered. Okay, because I want this working. It actually contributes to the pressure at lower kilograms, like 5 or 6 or 4 kilograms. Okay. Now I want to throw this in here. Now this sled part, this part right here, I'm going to take this. I'm going to take my ball of magnets right here. Okay. I'm going to take a ball of magnets, and I am going to get me a double strength catch spring from Orange Mod Works, and I'm going to throw it on the lock. I'm not kidding, because this thing keeps it so much stable. You see this rail down here? This rail down here. Okay. This thing goes on here, and while it's being cocked, it keeps it pushed against the chassis up here. Do you see that? Here? See? See what I mean? So the tighter this is, the better it is. I kid you not. It also keeps you from having malfunctions, jams, lockups, all sorts of things. You have to have a really heavy spring. The only problem with the really heavy spring is that it's harder to lock up. So we're going to take this, we're going to put this down here, we're going to put it into the notch point right here so that it can't go anywhere. Okay, but we'll check it again, make sure it didn't. Turn it clockwise, and then we're going to push this in like so. There's very few guns where I can actually say I've taken this thing apart 100 times. And there's your pesky magazine catch. I'm going to have to hit that again. You want to get it past this little lug that's in here. You got to push it down and keep it in. Once you have it, boom, you've got it. Until then, you're going to wrestle with it like that. You can lose the frame, the bolt sled if you want. Boom and boom. Just slide that in. You got to get it perfect. It's just takes time. It takes time to get it right. Sometimes it doesn't want to cooperate with you. If that happens, don't get upset about it. You know what I mean? Just keep going at it. Now take the bolt sled right here, push this down. This is why it's a lot easier to do with the bolts with this in, because it keeps it from popping back up. Cool. So as you can see, it's more spring action pushing on this. The reason I like this is because it's one more thing that holds it back when you have it, But I do not mod the spring on this because it's hard enough to get in there as it is. So once again, might be a little harder because that's in there. You take that. You got to get the spring above this notch that's in here. Okay. You got to get the spring above. It's about right here. You got to get it above that point. I don't know if you can see it, or else you just won't have enough spring action. Okay, so there's that. Now, the next thing that you need to pay attention to on these guns is your aluminum trigger catch that comes with. Okay, this one's a little bit more evasive than you think. One thing is that this right here is metal, and it's a corner sharp. This is not a corner, but it's plastic. So when it hits it, it goes, ew-wee! So what do you gotta do? You gotta take this, file it a little. That's what you gotta do. Okay? Use a nice Craftsman flat file or some other fine flat file like this, okay? What you gotta do is you lay the file flat down, okay? Do not touch this, okay? Leave that alone. You want this to be nice and flat. Anytime you see mold marks anywhere, except on the sides. Why not touch the sides? Because you don't want any side-to-side play. And since this is not made to be oversized, like a lot of match-grade parts, there it is. But you got a mold mark here. This is a contact point. So I'm going to slide it perfectly flat. Very slow. You see how slow I'm doing it? Very slow. Okay? Very, very slow. Alright. One direction. This is how you do hand-graded parts for service revolvers, for firearms, like 44s, 45 automatics, especially a lot of match-grade parts for your 1911 Type 45 automatics. This is how you do it. Okay? Take a file. Be very slow. They even use fine sandstone when they do this. Okay, but I'm just using a fine file. A Freedom Arms 454 Castle from Freedom Arms from Wyoming. They do this all the time in their guns. I'm not kidding. What do you think they cost? Like $2,300. It's not just because they're a Castle or made of stainless steel or no. They do a lot of work on this. But if you were to feel that, oh man, look at that. That's so nice. On this gun, do I want that to be any better than that? No. But I do want to get rid of this edge that I've now made sharper. So now I'm going to throw it at an angle. Okay, maybe I should show you better at this angle. Okay, this is gunsmithing. We're out of just modding and now we are gunsmithing. I'm going to throw it at an angle. Okay, now I'm really good at this. A lot of people use like square, use like things to make this to ride all the way down and whatever. Not me though, I don't need to. And I'm going to do the same thing at the same angle. Okay, see that? I want this to be consistent all the way across. See that bevel? It is consistent all the way across. Okay, and I'm gonna steepen the angle, and then I'm gonna start bringing up the angle like that. Hence why I did not use a stationary. I'm trying to make a curve. Okay, and I'm trying to make it so when I put some silicone grease on this is gonna be like barely biting the trigger at all. If you don't do this, it's gonna be so sharp that it will go into your trigger. For somebody like me, I've got all these old shells, you know what I mean, of guns, everything like that. It's not that big a deal. Okay? But for some people it is. It's huge. Okay? So, now I've got all the parts. Next video is to reassemble. Alright.